Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. So today's video is actually pretty cool in that with the iPhone industry, and if you're trying to be a reseller, you're going to have to meet up with people. And with that said, these people are obviously going to be random and you don't know them. So today I'm going to be giving you guys tips on how to mitigate any risk that you don't get scammed or robbed with any phone, because there are a lot of sketchy people out there. So with that said, let's get into the video. So as I mentioned, you're obviously going to be meeting a lot of people that you don't know, because you actually need to meet up to get this phone and to check those different things. Because I can guess most of you aren't doing this by buying phones on eBay. You're actually buying them locally and then reselling them on eBay like I do. You're going to have to meet up with people in your town. And with that said, the first tip that I have to actually mitigate meeting with sketchy people is first meet in a public area with as many people as possible. And this is a pretty simple tip, but it goes a long way. If somebody's not willing to meet up like in a local place, if they want to meet in an alley or just a parking lot, or they say come to their car, I never take that chance, because there's a lot of weird things that happen. Especially in my town, there's a lot of sketchy people. I'm not afraid to say it. So I mean, there's sketchy people everywhere. Don't forget that. So always meet in a public area. For me, I either like to meet in a carrier store, inside of a bank, or inside of a McDonald's. And one thing those all three have in common, just an extra piece of information, is that they usually have the Wi-Fi. So you are able to put in your SIM cards to actually check the phone and make sure it's like no iCloud or anything like that. But it really, if somebody's not willing to do that, they're obviously trying to sell you a phone that they shouldn't be trying to sell you. So the second point is actually something that I do personally. I haven't seen much of the YouTubers that actually talk about phone flipping on eBay say this, but one thing that I always do is I go early and leave late. And so let's say I'm meeting a person at 5 p.m. at the McDonald's. So I'll usually go about 10 to 15 minutes early, kind of scope out the place. I usually park my car kind of far away, just kind of maybe on the side of the lot or something. Because I want to give as much information about me as possible, just for my safety, not because I'm trying to scam anybody. But I always come early, sketch out a place. I usually like to sit in like the middle of like a restaurant or something like that, kind of where they're not able to just take your money and run. People will see them, small things like that, and then leaving late. So once the transaction is done, I never leave with the person, because then they can follow me outside. That's just a simple precaution, and I've seen a lot of sketchy things happen in my time doing phone flipping. I made that mistake in the beginning, and I've almost got robbed several times, I can be honest with you guys. But because of these tips, I'm able to mitigate that risk, and that hasn't happened since. But I always leave late. So I'll always just sit at the table or at the carrier store and wait for them to really leave. I'll kind of watch them, act like I got to make a phone call or something like that, just so they're not waiting outside to rob you after you gave them the money for their phone, and they might try to rob that phone back, so they just got money on a phone. So the third point is don't give any personal information. So like on Offerup or Letgo, you obviously can put your own name. So I'll always never put like kind of my face or anything on there. I'll just put a random picture, and I'll usually make up a name. For me, it just helps. I don't want to give out any personal information, because I don't want anybody coming back to me or tracing the phone. Obviously, there's no problem if somebody traces the phone to me, because I don't really buy iCloud locked devices or anything like that, just because of the legal side of it. But I simply don't want to give us any information. Like sometimes they'll try to engage in a conversation with you. I really won't engage that back. It's not because I don't want to give good customer service. It's just that I want to be... I'll obviously try to be personal, but I'm not going to give it like my name or like where I live or some dumb stuff like that. So, and then the fourth point I honestly am really going to try to elaborate on is don't be afraid to say no. I had that struggle in the beginning, and I know you guys are having it if you're a beginner in this industry. When you're meeting up with a person, there's a lot of pressure. And yeah, you kind of feel bad if you say no to somebody because they took the time to come there and meet you. But you have to remember that you're there to give them the money. You don't have to buy. They have the item. You have the choice. And I had that struggle in the beginning where I didn't really know. I kind of felt bad, so I made purchases that I shouldn't have. And obviously, I ended up losing money on them because I didn't appraise it right, or I didn't take the time to check all the steps. If somebody rushes me and say, I gotta go, I'll be like, then go. If you can't let me kind of check the phone, because these are expensive items, I'll tell them that. You have to let me check the phone through all the steps and through that checklist that I have in that previous video. So again, just don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to walk out. Just say, I'm not interested. Thank you for your time. Be respectful about it. That's how good customer service, and maybe they have a phone that they want to sell you later on, a different phone. You might end up buying it from them. So you never know. Always leave as good standing. Don't ever be like you both wasted each other's time. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Pretty short, but if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to join the family. I post videos every single day, usually around 7 or 8 p.m. And then I actually created an Instagram, and I'm going to be posting on it first thing tomorrow morning. So just kind of a recap of all the videos I've done. So there's just kind of 1-minute blurbs of the most important part of my videos. So if you guys are on Instagram, I'm going to link it down below. Definitely give it a follow. You'll find valuable information on there. I don't give all the tips on YouTube, so I'll also give them on Instagram, and I will be creating that Facebook group for you guys. I've had a lot of requests for it, so should be coming soon. There's just, I'm having some technical difficulties with my personal Facebook, so I'm getting on it, guys. Don't worry, I'm in contact with Facebook. So with that said, I'll catch you tomorrow in the next video.